So we do want to have a chair somewhere nearby today. We are going to use that just for some of our exercises if you want to, as well as at the end, we'll just use it for some stretching and such. Okay, so we're going to start standing nice and tall here. We're going to bring our hands down, crown of the head way up high, and we're going to roll our hands towards the front. So we're pulling our shoulders back. Good. So this looks like nothing, but it's actually a really active stance if we're doing it right. So we're going to think about getting all the parts of our feet touching the floor. I mean, not your arch. Like, let's think of the corners of your feet. And then we're rolling those shoulders back. We're pulling the fingertips down to the floor and we're stretching our head up high. So we're being as tall as we possibly can. Good. Okay. So now from here, we're going to just do a little swaying. So we're going to start by swaying side to side. So everything like hands, shoulders, head still bringing up tall. And we're actually going to keep the feet mostly planted on the floor and we're just swaying a little. We're just shifting our weight. And then we're going to bring it back to the center. We're going to start shifting forward and back. Again, small movement. Just kind of getting all our parts woken up. Making sure we've got all the corners of our feet anchored to the floor. Good. All righty. Okay, so now I want you to just place a hand on your chest and a hand on your stomach here, and we're going to still think about bringing head up tall, standing nice and tall, pulling our shoulders back. We're just going to breathe a minute. So we're just going to feel our breath here. Breathe in nice and big. I'll try not to breathe out on the microphone for y'all. Exhale nice and big. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Now you should be feeling both your belly and your chest moving. We really want to feel some belly movement here. So let's try and fill our belly first. Good. And then exhale. Good. Fill that belly. Exhale. Good. Okay. Let's get some shoulders rolling here. Roll them up and back. Roll them up, up, up by your ears and back. Up and back. Good. Up and back. Just getting everything moving, feeling good. Warming up is extra. It's important for everybody, but it's extra important on really, really cold days. And, you know, one of those lovely things as we get older, we need a little more warming up than we did a couple of decades ago. Good. Good. Okay, so now we're just going to set our hands a little bit above our hips, kind of at our waist, so we can feel with our fingertips when we're breathing here. We're going to take another nice big breath, but as we do, we're going to look up to the sky, and then we're going to exhale, tuck our chin down, make double chins. Good, bring it up. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the chin. I promise we'll do more than just breathing. Good, exhale. Good, up towards the sky. Good, exhale, make lots of double chins. 2 more here, big breath up. And exhale. Good, 1 more breath up. And exhale, tuck the chin. Good, come back to center. Let's tilt our head one direction towards the shoulder, just letting the weight of your head stretch your neck, not forcing it here, and not bringing your shoulder up to meet the ear, just keeping those down. Bring your head back to center, lean it the other way. Good, just letting it hang there. Back to the center. Let's do that one more time each side. Gently letting it hang to one side. Back to the center and the other side. Good. Back to the center. Good. So now we're going to look over our shoulder, but what we're going to do is start with our hands, palms together in the front. So we're going to bring our hand around and we're going to follow it with our eyes. Good. Then we're going to bring it back together, close the palms, other side. Now, if you get at all dizzy when we do these movements with your eyes, moving your head around. Just take it really slow as you need to. You don't have to go the same speed that I am. Good. Now this is another movement. Y'all know I like to tell you why I do some of the things. I won't tell you every single thing, but this one is good. Obviously, we're working on some chest opening here, stretching these parts. But anytime we do this where we're connecting our gaze, moving our head, moving another part of the body, we are working on establishing new and better connections between our brain and our body. That can help us with a lot of things. We're going to do one more each direction. That can help us with a lot of things, including improving our balance, because balance is not just about our muscles and our strength, it's also about the messages that our brain and body are sending to each other. Good. Okay, now let's reach it up really high. One side stretch, get some nice stretch in the side here. Let's reach the other side up. Good. And reach it. And reach. Oh, this one feels good to me today. Good. Reach on up. Good. Now bring the other hand up. Take hold of one of your wrists and pull. We're just going to get a little more stretch here on the side. Good. Switch the wrist and pull. Good. And just one more time each way. Pull as far as feels good. Good. And then switch to the other side and pull. Fantastic. All right. We're going to start with our weird little robot arms here. So we've got one going up, one going down. We're going to reach them both across. Good. Standing back up tall. Switch them. This is probably my favorite weird move. Good. And switch. And reach. Nice and tall. Switch them. Reach. This is one of my favorites in the morning. I tend to ball up when I sleep. And this one helps me get those parts uncrunched. Good. All right, let's move into a little more moving here. So we're going to start with a little tightrope walk. So we're having arms out to this side. We're going to put one heel right in front of our toe. So we're lining those feet up. Now you don't need to look at them. They're at the bottom of your legs, I promise. Good. We're going to go really slow. So this is actually some balance. Stick a hand on your chair if you really feel wobbly. Good. Actually going slow a lot of times is more balance challenge than fast. Now we're going to rock it backwards and then line that toe up behind the heel. Toe up behind the heel. Good. And, if you run out of room before I do, you just start going the other direction. Here we go. We're going to go forward again. So each time we're lining that heel up right in front of the toe and we're going to rock it up. Good. We'll add more to this in a minute. And now we're going to take it back. Good. Lining that toe up right behind your heel. Keeping it slow. Good. Okay, so now I want you to keep the arms out to your side. Keep the feet mostly lined up, but we're going to let them come a little bit to the side of each other. Okay. And we're going to rock it up on the toe, rock it back on the heel. Rock it up on the toe, rock it up on the heel. Now for any of these movements, if you need to stick a hand on your chair, feel free. You're still going to be working on your balance, working on your strength. Good. All right, now I'm going to switch up my feet. So I'm going to put the other one towards the back, the other one in front. They don't have to be exactly lined up, just slightly to the side. We're going to rock it forward, rock it back, rock it forward, rock it back. Then we're coming up on the toes, coming back to the heels, up on the toes, back to the heels. Now we're going to bring our feet in more of a standard standing stance. That was lots of standing things. Okay, so a hand on your chair if you need to. We're going to come up on toes, and then we're going to go rock back on the heels. the heels part may be the part where you feel like you need a chair. That's a little trickier. Good. So rock it back on the heels, up on the toes. Back on the heels, up on the toes. Good. If you don't need the chair, fantastic. Whoop. Wobbles are okay as long as you stay upright. Wobbles just work those muscles a little bit more. Good. A few more rocks here. All right, now we're going to make another little variation of our rocking. So this time we're going to step it forward, pick the back foot up off the floor. Then we're going to step it back to that foot, pick the knee up. Pick the foot up, knee up. So we're going slow here. So a slow motion kick, knee up. Kick it back, knee up. Good. Now here you can work on higher knee, higher foot, or you can keep it low, whatever feels right to you today. Good. All right, now let's switch the feet. So now we're going to step forward with the other one. So we're going to kick towards our rear with the other, bring the knee up. Again, making it as high as is comfortably doable for you. Always want you to challenge yourself, but listen to your body. Good. Kick it up. Bring that knee up. It is not warm on my porch this morning. Good. All right. Now we're going to switch it to, no, we're not. We're going to go on to another one. We're going to come back to that. So now we're going to have a little single leg balance. So this is where you may want to put a hand on your chair. You can have your foot just touching the ground if you want to, like just toes barely on the ground, or go ahead and bring it all the way up, whatever feels good for you. So we're going to pretend like there's a clock on the floor here. We're going to bring our hand to the front. This is 12 o'clock. Then we're going to bring it around to 3. And we're going to see if we can bring it around to 6 or maybe 5 at least. Good. Back to 3. Back to 12. So hand on your chair if you need it. Otherwise, just stick it on your hip. Good. So to 3 and on back to 3 and 12 and 3. Good. And 6. I don't know my times. Back to 12. Good. And 3 and 6 and all the way back to 12, and then plant that foot. So now we're going to do with the other one. Again, hand on your chair if you need. Toe can touch the ground lightly as long as the weight is on one leg, or go ahead and bring it way up high, whatever feels good for you. Let's start at 12. We're going to bring it out to, I guess this is 9 now, isn't it? And then 6 and 9 and 6. I guess your clock might be upside down, or mine is. 9 and 6, 9 and 12. Good. And 9 and 6 and 9 and 12 and 9 and 6, and bring it all the way back around. Now we are going to use our chair. We're just going to have a hand on the back. We're going to face the back of our chair. We're going to have we're going to have all of our weight on one foot. We're going to let just a tiny bend stay in the one knee that we're standing on. The other one, we're starting out with the toe just touching behind, and we're going to bring it up, not real high, but we're going to think about flexing that glute. So we have a tiny bend, and the knee we're standing on, hands on our chair in front. It seems silly, but if you want to put a hand on your high knee, you can feel whether or not it's squeezing and flexing where it should. And sometimes actually putting a hand on the muscle that you're trying to work can help your brain make it fire a little more efficiently. Good. We're squeezing. Again, doesn't have to be a big movement. We don't want to get an arch in our back, so we're not looking for this or this. Just squeezing that booty. Squeezing that booty. Good. One more. So we're going to switch the feet. So now we've changed the weight to the other foot. Little bend in this knee. Toe starts out just kicked back. And we're going to lift and squeeze. Lift and squeeze. Again, just enough lift to get that squeeze. Good. Strong glutes are good for lots of things. They're nice big muscles that need to be strong. Good. Squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and one more squeeze. All right, so now we're going to come into a horse pose. So that is pretty wide feet. They're going to be wider than your hips. You might want to play with exact distance here. Then we're going to come down. So the knees are going to go bending out, trying to track over your toes. Try not to let them cave in like this. So pushing the knees out. Everything's kind of pointing out to the side, and we're just as low as is comfortable. If you're not as low as I am, that's fine. If you're lower than I am, that's fine too. So we're going to start with these little cactus arms, and we're going to raise them up high and then pull the elbows down. Raise them up high, pull the elbows down. Now your legs will probably start talking, and that's okay. Reach them up, pull them down. Reach them up, pull them down. Now we're going to add a little extra here. So this time, as we bring our arms up, we stand up with our legs. Good. So now we're like a little X. And then we come down and we're a cactus again. Good. Bring it up tall and bring it down. Awesome. Reach it up and bring it down. Using some resistance each way. So we reach it up, and we use some resistance to pull those elbows back down. Awesome. And pull them down. And reach. Good. Pull them down. One more. And now we're going to hold here for just a few seconds. Good. You got this. You're doing fantastic. If your legs are talking to you, that means you're doing awesome things. Good. Let's walk it up. Wiggle them out if you need to. And then we're going to just get some hips going. Circle those hips. Fast or slow. Pretend you're hula hooping. I stink at hula hooping. Always have. Good. Let's take it the other way. We all have our talents, and that is not one of mine. Good. All right. Now a little march. Okay. So we're going to, of course, do something different to our march here. So to start with, we're going to come up on our toes. So we're just marching, but we're up on our toes. Again, you do the version of this that works for you, but just challenge yourself, okay? So now we're going to come back on regular feet. I don't know. I say weird things. All right, so we're marching normal. Now we're going to take it down just a little bit. So we're like an elevator now. So we're down to the next down floor. Okay, then we're going to go down another floor. Good. So that's more bend. We're still marching though. Okay, can we take it down again? Good. I think we're down pretty much in the basement right now. We're still marching. Let's take it up a floor. Not all the way, just a little bit. Take it back up again. Still marching. Still a pretty significant bend in the knees. Now our regular march. There we go. And then back up on our toes. We're up in the penthouse, I guess. All right, and then take it back down to regular. We're going to do our little elevator one more time. So we're going to go down just a floor, so a couple inches. Take it down again. Still marching. Still marching. Take it down again if you can. Good. If you look a little bit like a duck right now, that's okay. So do I. Take it back up. And take it back up. And back to regular march. And one more time on the toes. Good deal. All right. We're going to go back to a couple of the things that we did before. So we're not going to do our tightrope walk, but we are going to have our little feet lined up mostly. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have feet one in front of the other, just slightly offset. And we're going to rock it. We're going to keep contact with the floor, but we're rocking back and rocking forward. So it just doesn't usually work to have your feet completely lined up because you don't have as much room here, but pretty close to lined up. And again, wobbles are fine, but stick a hand on your chair if you want to. Forward and back. Forward and back. Good. Switch it up. Same thing. Almost lined up. And we come forward, woo, and back. Forward and back. Good. Now, anytime you feel like you want a sip of water, feel free. Whoop. I'm wobbling. It's all good. One more. Good. Now we're going to switch our feet again and do that kick knee. So we're going to kick the foot up, bring the knee up. Kick it and knee. Kick it and knee. Good. We're going just a little faster than we did the last time, but again, you can adjust this to the pace you need. Knee and kick, knee and kick, knee and kick. Good, one more. And let's switch the feet. So again, step it, kick and knee, kick and knee. Y'all are doing fantastic. Do good. Can't talk. And knee and kick and knee and kick. Just one more. Good. All righty. So let's march. Just keeping it warm. All right. We're going to do our little clock hands again. So we're balancing on one foot. Again, toe can stay on the ground. That's fine. Just keep the weight shifted to one side so that you could theoretically lift your toe off, and it's only helping with balance, not really with weight. Or stick a hand on the chair. All righty. So let's bring a hand out straight in front. Now let's go all the way around, all the way back to the front. Good. Now let's just go to like 2, back to the front, 2, back to the front, 2, back to the front. Let's take it around to 4. Good. And to the front, to 4. Good. All right, now we're going to change things up. We're going to follow it with our eyes, but we're going to have to do it slower to start with. So we're going to go out to 3, following with our eyes. Good. Bring it back to the front. Good. Out to 3. As slow as you need to. Good. Out to 3. Back to the front. We're going to switch to the other leg. We're going to come back to this one though. So we're going to find our balance on that other foot, toe on the ground or not, and hand on the chair or not. Okay. Starting out here at 12, and we're going to go out to 2, and then to 12. Oh, that's not 2. That's 10. There we go. And 2, and 10, and 2, and then what? I guess is about 8, and 12, or yeah. 8 and 12. I had 1 cup of tea this morning, but apparently I needed 2. And 12. Good. Now let's go slow. Take it out to 9. Follow it with your eyes. And back to the front. Good. Out to 9. Back to the front. Following with our eyes as slow as you need to go. Out to 9. And back to the front. Good. We're switching the legs up, doing the same thing here. So find whatever version of that works for you. Hand starts right here at 12. Following with our eyes every time now. So we're going to follow to 2. Whoop, and back to 12. Good. Follow to 2. And back to 12. Again, if I'm going too fast for you, if you get dizzy at all, take it slower and don't do it as fast as I am. So out to 2. Back to 12. Good. Now let's try and take it around to 4, following with our eyes. Slow as you need to go. And then back to the front. If you've noticed that things are wobbling like crazy on the leg you're standing on, that's totally normal. Take it out to 4, following with your eyes. And back to the front. Now we're just going to go to 3. And back to the front. Good. Switch the legs if you need to wiggle them out. That sometimes helps. All right, so we've got our balance on the other leg now. Toe on the ground or not, whichever version works for you. Hand in front. Good, we're following it with our eyes out to 10. Back to 12. Good. Out to 10. Back to 12. You're doing fantastic. Out to 10. Back to 12. Now taking it around to 8. Slow as you need to go. Take it back to 12. Good. Out to 8. Back to 12. Like I said, wobbles are fine. One more time. Out to 8. Back to 12. Slow as you need to go. All right, and now let's go just to 9. And back to 12. And plant that foot. Good. All right, we're coming back to our little glute presses. So that's the one where we're standing behind the chair, hand on the chair. Little bend in our knee. Toe starts out kicked back. We're going to keep this leg straight and just raise, squeeze the booty. Squeeze. You don't have to make a ridiculous face. I tend to. So we're squeezing. Squeeze. Again, nobody's watching you except for me, so you can put a hand on there if you want. Squeeze. Squeeze. Almost all of us sit a lot, and our glutes don't have to do a thing when we're sitting on them. So they need a little extra help. One more here, one nice and squeeze. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. All right, switching on up. So keep it on a little bend in this knee. Other leg stays straight. Lift just enough to get the booty squeezing. Squeeze. Squeeze. You're doing great. This is one you can do a lot, anytime. Waiting for your coffee, cooking. You don't even have to put your hand on your butt to do it. Your kids might look at you funny if they're around. I don't think mine look at me funny just about anything I do anymore. Good. Squeeze and squeeze. Awesome. Back to our little horse pose. That's the one that we're wide. So we've got toes kind of not all the way out to the side, but kind of front and side. And then track those knees out over them. Come down nice and low. Find whatever feels challengingly low. And then little cactus arms. Bring just the arms up. Bring those elbows down. Good. Bring them up. And it's like you're pulling a rope. So you've given some resistance here. Good. Reach them up high. Pull those elbows down. Reach them up high. Pull them down. Reaching them up. Pulling them down. We're adding the legs this time. So up into an X. And then down to a cactus. And up. And down. Good. Bringing them down. Reaching up to an X. And down. Doing fantastic. Reach. Pull yourself down. 2 more here. Reach it up. Pull them down. I don't remember if I said 2 more. Yeah, there we go. 1 more here. Fabulous. Stand it up. Hips again. Just circle. 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 Take them the other way. Circle. 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 1 more time the other way. Well, 2 circles and then the other way. There you go. All right, our marches. We're going to go high and low again. So we're marching. Coming up on our toes. Taking it back to our regular march. Coming down a couple inches. Couple inches more. And then if you can, take it even lower. Good. Bring it back up just a little. Back up just a little. Back up just a little. Regular march. Up on your toes. Good. Now, if you want to add some more challenge to this might be plenty for you, but if you're just feeling like you really want more challenge, get the knees higher at every level of our elevator. Okay, so now we're regular march, little higher knees. We're gonna go down just a little bit, still bringing the knees high. A little more bend, a couple inches, bringing the knees as high as we can. Going down more, still bringing those knees high as we can. If you can go lower, give it a try. Good, back up just a bit. Back up a little more. Woo, back up a little more. All right, regular march, nice high knees. And then up on the toes. Let's do it one more time. You got this. Regular march, relatively high knees. Taking it down, high knees. All right, down a little bit more. Good. Down a little bit more. And as low as you can, whatever that is. Good, back up a little. Back up a little. Back up a little. Almost normal. Woo, back to our regular march. And one more time on the toes. All right. You're doing great. Okay, so let's try, hang on. I'm talking my head off, so let me grab a sip of water. Always try not to swallow in the microphone. Okay, so we're gonna do some bird dogs, some standing bird dogs here. This is one you may want, whoo, those got me going for a little bit, those little marches. All right, you may want a hand on your chair here. We're standing on one foot. We're gonna, again, keep a little bend in this knee. We're gonna reach our other foot out behind and then reach it farther and farther. And you can let it stay down on the ground if you need to. But since you've got your chair for balance, try and let the foot float off the ground. And then we're gonna reach the same side. So we have the leg that's in the back, the same side arm is reaching. We're gonna hold here a second, then we're gonna come up tall. Whew. And reach it way back and way forward, letting this knee bend a good bit. Good, and back up. Good, reaching that foot way back. Reaching the hand way forward. And on up, good. Again. Now this is one, if you really want to work on something for homework, you can work on doing this without touching anything. Now, the problem is a lot of times when we do that, we get so wobbly that it's really not a quality movement anymore. So if you still need to touch something, that's fantastic. A kitchen counter works great. Reach it on out. Good, and we're gonna switch legs here. Let me just resituate my chair. So that means whatever leg you were doing, we're going to the other one and we're gonna reach out same side arm. So reaching the arm forward, reaching the foot back. And the way we get lower here is we just reach farther back with that foot. So this knee bends more. Good. Reaching it out. Doing great. Good. Reaching it on out. And again. Good. And one more. Good. Okay, let's do a little hamstring stretch here. So heel is out in front. Our toe is going to go towards the ceiling. We're going to push our hips back. Hand can be on your chair or not. Now you're going to think about bringing the toes in towards your shin, not with your hands. Don't grab them. Just think about bringing your hips further back, and then you can reach forward if you like. Good. Let's stand it up. And then the same thing. So we're going to push hips back, reach hands forward. Good. and up, and go again. So pushing back, reaching forward, and up, push it back. And we're going to hold here for just a second. So just pushing back as far as you can, pulling the toes in towards your shin, reaching the hands out. Good. Now we're going to switch feet. So now we've got that other heel on the ground, toes towards the ceiling, pushing our hips back, bringing that toe up towards the shin, and reach it forward. Hand on your chair if you want to. Good. Stand it on up. Push the hips back, reach it forward. Good. And reach it out. Good. Nice and tall. Let's do one more here. Really push those hips back. And stand it on up. Okay, so now we're actually going to sit in our chair for a little bit more stretching. I'm going to go a little bit sideways. Good. So let's go ahead and take an ankle up to the other knee. We're sitting a little bit towards the front of our chair, so not like totally leaning back and chilling out. And so we've got an ankle here up on our knee. If that's too much for you, adjust it. If you have something handy like a bench or something, you can always put it down here a little bit more. If this is not enough stretch for you, then two things you can do is press gently down on the knee. And you can also keep a tall torso, but lean it forward. So not like hunching, but pulling yourself forward. Good. What we're going for is a stretch right here in the back of the leg. Good. Now while we're here, while we've got this foot captive, we're just going to rotate it around. So no matter what you do, if you don't have strong feet and ankles, you're going to be limited. So we want to work on our flexibility, our mobility here, and pretty much everything that we did, we were working on strengthening them. Good, so let's plant that one on the floor. We're going to bring the other ankle up to the other knee. So again, nice and tall. If this is not enough stretch, give it a little gentle push on the knee and bring the torso forward. Good, hold it right here. Fantastic. Good, and then let's give that little foot some help. Rotate the ankle, little push and pull. Good. Getting the toes going too is good. Like just give them a little bend. There's other stuff we can do for them, but just a little bend and flex can help things. And then plant them on the floor. Good. Let's pull an arm across, give it a little hug, and we're going to wiggle our fingers while they're out here. And then let's see if we can do each finger individually circled. So pinky circle, ring finger circle, middle finger, ring pointer finger, thumb, and then go the other way. So go back and see if you can do them the other direction. Same deal here. If we don't keep our fingers nice and moving and strong, they will protest. And a little rotation of the wrist again. Good. We can bring that arm up, give ourselves a little pat on the back. And then if you want to help it along, you can either take hold of the elbow, not yanking on your head, just gently helping the elbow. Or if you're feeling really bendy, you can try that little cow face arm thing where you interlace your fingers together. That's an option. If you do that one, you can expect one side's going to be easier than the other. Shake out those arms. And then let's pull across the other arm. And we're just going to start wiggling those fingers. A little bit of the wrist. Good. And then let's do those finger circles. So a little pinky circle, ring finger circle, middle finger, pointer, thumb, and then the other direction. Go back to each one. Good. And wiggle them around and wiggle that wrist again. Good. Now let's take an arm in front. We're just going to kind of gently, that's the key word here, gently pull the fingers back. So you should feel some stretch, but we never want to go into actual pain. So a little, ooh, that's stretchy. That's fine. But if it makes you make bad faces or bad noises, don't do it. Good. And then the other side, just a little gentle pull. Especially if you do anything computer or you've been holding books for a long time or like any little handy craft things, um, fingers may get really tight. Good. And then little, what I say, big hands, fists, big hands, fists. Good. All right. And then now we're going to just rest our hands on our thighs here. Now we're sitting a little bit more back in our chair, a little comfier pose here, still trying to keep our feet somewhat flat on the floor. I know that depends on what chair you've got. All right, so now we're going to get a little neck stretch going again. So we're going to let our head go to one shoulder, back to the center, and then the other. You may find that it feels a little different than it did when we started out at the beginning of the workout. Maybe not, but sometimes things loosen up more. Good. One more each way, just letting it relax. We're not hiking our shoulders up here. Good. The other way. Good. Back to center. All right, we're just going to do a little bit of breathing, a little bit of arms here, and then we'll be done for today. So we're going to bring our hands up, 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 and we inhale. We're going to reach for the ceiling, and then exhale as we release the arms. Good. Inhale. Reach and release. Good. And just one more. Reach, reach, reach. And release. Thank you so much for joining me today. So I'm going to be doing this one every Tuesday, and then I will be adding some other classes in January. So if you have requests on time or day or format, because I'm adding some different things, send me an email or message me some way and let me know. Thank you.